Hello and welcome back to Football Now for all of our preview videos ahead of this weekend's round of Premier League fixtures. As you can tell by the title, this video will focus on Wolves' home match at against Manchester City. At Molineux at 3 o'clock on Saturday afternoon. Before we get into the betting odds, I want to remind everyone of the ongoing competition we've got going on here at Football Now. As you can see there, it says on the screen, win a football shirt of your choice. Just subscribe to the channel and leave a comment. Once we do hit that 100 subscriber mark, we will be giving away a football shirt of the winner's choice. That winner will be pulled from the comment sections, not just this video, but all the videos that we do up until we do hit 100 subscribers. So follow us on Twitter as well, Football Now UK _ at Football Now UK _ sorry. That's where the announcement will be made. You'll be the first to know once we do hit that mark of who is the lucky winner. More involved you get, the more likely you are to win that shirt. Having said that, onto today's video, like I said, we're focusing on the champions, Man City, away at Wolves, 3 o'clock Saturday at Molineux. Connor, the odds are on screen. Do you want to talk us through them first of all?
Yeah, obviously Manchester City, massive favourites, aren't they? You know, you're getting about 1 to 3 there, just under 1 to 3. Again, I've mentioned it in previous videos. I don't really like those brackets because it's not a huge amount of value, and anything can happen in the Premier League. But that being said, Manchester City have won every single game this season. Wolves have been struggling. I see there, green. Manchester City have scored 16 goals this season. Have only conceded 3. Absolutely perfect in the Premier League. City don't normally start like this. They normally finish like this. So the fact that they've started like this now is a really scary prospect, actually, because even now it's almost hard to see where they're going to drop points to lose the league. And I'm saying now when they're only 2 points clear of second place Liverpool, but it's ridiculous because they're just that good. They've lost, in the first game of the season, Kevin De Bruyne to a long-term injury, who, by the way, I think Kevin De Bruyne is one of the best players in the history of football. I think he's that good. And you don't even feel like you've lost him because City got that much strength and depth. Even when they've had a bit of difficult spells in games and difficult games, they find a way to win. It was difficult against Sheffield and Rodri came up with a late goal. It was difficult against Newcastle in the league, but they managed to win 1-0 with a great Alvarez goal. So, whether they're running over teams or whether they're falling behind like against West Ham, they're always finding a way to pick up these 3 points. So it's very difficult to back against City, even if it is only 1 to 3. To be honest with you, to get a bit more value, you might even want to be looking at, over 2.5 goals for Manchester City, see what that value is. I'm guessing you're probably going to get, maybe just below evens for that, if not evens. And then you look at the other end of the table there, Wolves. We mentioned it in previous videos. They're lucky that they've got Luton, Burnley, and Sheffield behind them, who are really struggling return to the Premier League, or for Luton, their debut in the Premier League. Because, they've not played well. They've only scored 6 goals. You mentioned there off camera that going forward they look okay, but they just can't get the ball in the back of the net. They took the lead against Liverpool. Maybe should have gone 2-0 up, but a lack of a clinical striker is really hurting them. They've only won 1 game this season. They got another draw as well. Yeah. So things are difficult for them at the moment. I think Gary O'Neill's got his job cut out to try and get the points on the board. This isn't a game that they're going to be looking at in hope that they're going to get anything. They've lost Nunes as well to Manchester City. It'll be interesting to see if he plays. Really funny, actually. Pep was talking about Nunes because when he was at Wolves last season, Manchester City beat Wolves 5-0, and Pep said that Nunes is one of the best midfielders in the world. And then Pep said recently in a press conference that he exaggerated a little bit because he was excited. He's not one of the best players in the world. I just think that's quite funny to say about your own player. But yeah, just looking at Wolves' upcoming fixtures, they've got Aston Villa at home, then Bournemouth, Newcastle, but then they've got Sheffield. So, there's a few games there where maybe they'll be looking to get the points on the board. This isn't one of them. I think having a free roll can help, but it is just going to be a difficult game. You don't want to lose heavy. And against Manchester City, it's always in the cards.
Yeah, we're talking about Wolves first. That's their home side. 1-1 draw away to Luton last week. Played most of that game though with 10 men after Bellegarde made such a positive start against Liverpool the week before. He was brilliant, I think, and he gets sent off within 40 minutes away to Luton. I think, well, we predicted Luton might get something from that, but I think that's a point where, although a lot of people, Luton still finding their feet, you'd fancy your chances against them. That's a point where at the end of the season it could be viewed a little differently. I think it could be viewed as a decent point now for Wolves, especially with the context of the red card. They did lose in the cup midweek to Ipswich 3-2 away, which, I don't think that's the worst thing in the world. I don't know if they're ever backing themselves to win that competition. So, the last amount of games maybe will benefit them if they are going to be down towards the bottom end of the table. I think, like you said at the start of the video, I can't see them going down. I just think there are a few more sides down there, like you said, who are worse off. One of them being Luton, who they played last week. I'm just looking at what the injuries are for Wolves. I don't think they've got anyone substantial. Obviously, Bellegarde's suspended. There's a man who's suspended as well for the Man City, and that's Rodri, who got sent off at home to Nottingham Forest last weekend. A bit of a silly red card to give away.
It wasn't. He put his arms around him. I mean, I actually think in that game. Sorry to cut you off, but I actually think in that game, if Wolves was to look at that game, I mean, I know Forest still lost that game 2-0, but I think who was it? Was it Brennan Johnson? I can't remember who it was, but he got in the face of Rodri and made Rodri get a red card and do something stupid. So you need to frustrate Manchester City, and if you've got to resort to the dark arts to do that, then you've got to do what you got to do, frustrate them. And if you can wind up Manchester City where they are going to make mistakes or where they are going to get frustrated and maybe sort of talk themselves into stupid yellow cards or even a red card, that's what you got to do. This game is not all about playing beautiful, sexy football. It's about getting the points on the board. And if pardon me French, if you need to shithouse it, do what you need to do.
I think it's also a dangerous game you're playing though, because if you rile them up, there's always a chance that it can end up being on the end of a 4 or 5-0 drubbing. So it is a dangerous game. Yeah. But I think we've mentioned this in previous videos about Man City. If you invite them on, you're almost asking them, to lose heavy. I think you've got to be brave against them, and sometimes that will blow up in your face. And but I think you've just got to get at them and have a go at them. I think Wolves are a side, like I said, they can't seem to put the ball back in the net. But going forward this season, they've looked good. They were brilliant against Liverpool in that first half. Neto, has he got 4 assists to his name already?
I think he's got 4 goals. How many goals? 6 goals.
He scored against Luton as well, didn't he, Neto?
Yes, he did. So that was after the card as well.
Yeah, and Wang, I think he started well. Bellegarde, I know he won't play in this game, so he got sent off, but he looked brilliant on his debut. They've got a few good little players. Cunha as well, Matthias Cunha, who they signed from Atletico Madrid permanently in the summer. They're an exciting team going forward, Wolves. It's just whether they can find someone to stick that in the back of the net. And more talking about beyond this weekend rather than just this game against City, because I think most people will be backing City to get the win. You never know. Stranger things have happened. It's almost like for want of a cliche, a free hit for Wolves, I guess. And if like you said, I don't think this will be the game which defines them this season. They are at home though, so like I said, they're missing Rodri. De Bruyne's out, like you've mentioned. Bernardo Silva also, I think, is out with injury, and there's questions over John Stones. I'm not sure whether he's going to return this weekend. So some big names out for Man City. I think there's been this myth about them over the last couple of years that they've had this massive squad. I don't think they have. I think they've just got a brilliant squad, but it's certainly not the biggest in the league. It'd be interesting. Like, I haven't said all that, I am going to predict Man City to get the away win, but just to balance.
Put a Wolves 2-0 win.
You just want to catch up with me on the head-to-head. That's it. He's trying to sabotage me there. But we've spoken about it there. Do you want to give your own prediction there, Connor? First of all, you've got your odds on screen.
Yeah, I mean, I can see Wolves getting some out of this game if they play with actual Wolves. But I think barring that, then I think Manchester City are going to take the 3 points. I'm going to go with 3-0. I do think City are going to become. I just think it's because City's so good. I don't think it's I don't think it's because Wolves are bad. I don't think it's because Wolves have looked poor. I just think City is so excellent, and I think no matter how the game goes, whether it's difficult or not, City just find a way. They could do nothing for an hour and then bam, bam, bam. Haaland as well is rested. And I think he's going to be a little bit annoyed to not play midweek against Newcastle, especially as they were losing as well, because I just think he wants to always get on and always score. So I think he might pay Pep back there and get at least a couple. So I'm going to go with City 3-0.
You won't be surprised. And I'm going to go 3-1 City. I'm going to back Wolves to get a goal. I've got, like I said, they're a better side than that league table suggests. Wolves. It's just whether they can, start putting the ball in the back of the net. But I haven't said that. Like I said, I'm going to go City 3-1. As you can see, we've got our own head-to-head predictor going on here. You get 3 points for the correct scoreline and 1 point for the correct result. I'm ahead of Connor right now, heading into this weekend. He'll be looking to claw that back.
I'm going to hear that 10 times today, aren't I?
Don't worry, you will. I'm going to have to keep drumming that home. But like I said, you could claw it back this weekend. Let us know how you get on as well. Tell your own score against us. Get involved. See how you fare. You might, do better than both of us. You never know. And like I mentioned at the top of the video, we've got the ongoing competition on screen now. Win a football shirt of your own choice. Once we hit that 100 subscriber mark over here on Football Now, all you've got to do is subscribe to the channel, get us to 100, leave a comment in the comment sections, not just in this video, in all the other videos that we'll be doing ahead of this weekend's round of fixtures and beyond, weeks before that, until we hit that 100 mark. Follow us on Twitter there as well. You can see the at the bottom of the screen, Football Now UK _, and that's where the announcement will come. Good luck to everyone who does get involved. The more involved you are, the more likely you are to be pulled out as the winner of that competition. And having said that, concludes our video for Wolves versus Man City this weekend. Our next video will focus on Tottenham's home match against Liverpool in
Big
London.
game.
Massive game at 5:30 on Saturday live on Sky Sports. So get over to the next video to see our thoughts on that. And like I said, good luck to everyone who does get involved with the competition.